The entire board and management board took our second trip to the United States, to California, to San Francisco and Silicon Valley in June. So we're here this morning to talk about the initial thinking and insights that came out of that trip. 23 of us loaded up into multiple minibuses and aeroplanes and so forth and headed off to California in June. And the reason we took such a large commitment, a large investment of time and money, was that the most senior executive group and the board are very, very acutely aware of the effect, the future impact, the current impact that digitisation is going to have on our industry, on ANZ, on our competition, on changing customer expectations, on changing entrance to our industry, and indeed, if you keep going, slowly changing views of our regulators and other stakeholders that surround our business. So there is a critical strategic reason that is driving our interest.
It was a real eye-opener for me to experience some of the cultures in those organisations, but some of the things I was thinking about to translate into the bank is the whole test, fail, learn attitude and approach, and the agility that requires, that we need an organisation that can test, fail and learn quickly, whereas we've tended to be much more long-term in our thinking, and that we have to be an organisation that has a culture of taking risks and where failure is okay. And I'm certainly not going to say that's a culture we have in the organisation at the moment, but we need to change that. Because if we're going to move at the pace, and I agree with Alistair, the sheer speed that this is all happening at now is definitely a train coming right here. The train was in the distance, you could see the steam before, now you can see the train very clearly. And I'm not worried it's going to run us over, but it's definitely moving a lot faster.
As you can imagine, thousands of banks worldwide. I'm very familiar with a lot of the big banks in the US, and I would say that there's probably, pockets of excellence in each one, but not to the point where any one is so much further along than others. And that's what I found when I came here. We do some things very well. Wells has a great reputation, but when we sat down with the management team, we realized that there are a number of things that we're equally good at as Wells.
Susie used the word revamp what we do. I actually like to think about it, reimagine how we do things, how we work together, how we invest, how we manage projects, how we interact with customers and each other. And I think we can use that term right across our business because it's a 180-year-old organisation. We've got a lot of things that we've embedded into the way that we operate. And for us to be successful in an agile pace world, which we're seeing banks like BBVA and Wells Fargo do, they've reimagined the processes and the way they operate. And I think that's a challenge for us. On the other side of the ledger where I feel, and we pressed them a little bit on this, and we didn't get a great answer back, which means to me they haven't nailed it, but is that we've been doing a lot on the front end in digital in our space, whether it's around transactions and credit cards and mobile payments and Go Money and things like that. They've been doing the same, and I think we've been doing some good jobs there. Where banks have failed traditionally right across the board is around taking digitisation or automation better right through the organisation, the middle and our processes and our middle through back office, and embedding that. And there's a big opportunity there for us, I think. And I don't think anyone's really nailed that well necessarily across the board. So if you can get that front end customer experience right with the automation internally and look at that as an end-to-end result for the customer, not by a single product, I think you end up in a really good space.